Hey folks, this is Keough here with a new training video for you. I feel like I haven't done one of these in, I guess, about a week, maybe even a little over a week, so it's about time that I use some of this footage and put together uh, uh, sort of like a montage of training for the last week. And I'm going to start with the deadlift session that I did, not this past Friday, but the Friday before. I was supposed to do 510 for 6 doubles, but I didn't feel good warming up. And this is the first rep at 510, and it moved kind of like a near max. And the second rep, I got it to about my knees. It came up the floor faster than the first rep. I felt more comfortable with it, but I just realized I was pulling very slow, so there was something in my head that told me at that moment when I had the bar at my knees, just drop it because this is stupid, I don't know what you're doing, and something is really wrong here. And so I don't know exactly what happened, but I just came into deadlift on that day, and my strength was absolutely gone. I couldn't pull anything, and so after that I went home, I assessed my training, and I started to tweak things and modify things and put together sort of like a skeleton outline for how I wanted to train moving forward. And I didn't change too much. I didn't want to overreact, but I did make some small changes to my training. I made some changes to my deadlift training because I thought that was necessary. And I am also working on making some changes to my squat training. This didn't change as a result of the deadlift session, but I decided that it was time for me to move into sort of like the next phase of my training and prep for Raw Unity, which is just going to be doing unwrap squats for a few weeks, trying to accumulate more bar lifts, trying to get more comfortable dropping down into the hole. This right here is 330 pounds. I did it for a set of 12. I think it's a 12 rep PR for me, but honestly that doesn't really matter. It's kind of a PR by default. And then I did 4 triples after that to supplement volume. I actually did more than 4 triples, but I only have 4 triples here for you. It moved slow. Well, it didn't move that slow, but it felt heavy. It feels like I don't know exactly what I'm doing coming out of the hole. I don't any longer know what it means to take advantage of a stretch reflex on my squats, so I have to rebuild that and redevelop that, and I'm hoping over the next few weeks I'm going to get a lot more comfortable doing this. And I also I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of my belt right now. I'm really focusing on learning, again, to use the belt. I got accustomed with my paused beltless squats. I got accustomed with squatting without it, and it felt fine. The technique felt a little different, and I got pretty good pretty quickly squatting that way. To be honest, my paused beltless squat is probably just about the same as my belted, not paused squat right now, which is not good, but that's how it is. And so I need to learn how to, number one, take advantage of my belt moving forward, and number two, take advantage of my stretch reflex again. And once I gain a little bit more refamiliarity with those two aspects of my squat, the numbers will start going up, and the speed on these will start going up. I'm moving slow coming out of the hole just because I don't really know what the hell I'm doing right now. Otherwise, I was happy with the squatting that I did this week. I was able to do this for around, I think, 32 bar lifts on that day, and then another 40 bar lifts towards the end of the week, and it will get better. I am working on it. The following Friday, I did a very drastically different deadlift training session. What I did was a pretty modified CAT, or compensatory acceleration training protocol, in which I did 10 sets of 5 with 330 plus 60 pounds of chains, and those chains don't deload totally at the top because I wanted at least a little bit down on the floor so that the chains didn't go everywhere, but it's around 60 pounds of chains, again, for sets of 5. I'm just trying to move it as quickly as I possibly can. I'm experimenting with different hip heights here. I'm trying to develop a lot of bar speed. Obviously, the bar speed is inconsistent on these, and I really want to make it more consistent, and I want to develop more bar speed from my first rep. on a lot of these sets, my last rep is the fastest, and that should not be the case. I got to figure out how to change that so that I'm pulling faster with my first rep. I changed my deadlift programming pretty dramatically because I just felt like with my rather high volume, moderate intensity approach, I pretty much exhausted that. And for whatever reason, I came in to do a deadlift session that should have been an easy deadlift session. I had done 495 for 5 sets of 4 the previous week, and it went pretty well. The first few sets flew up, and the reps were moving really fast. And then the following week, 510 for my first rep, just moved so incredibly slowly. They were only supposed to be doubles, so the exertion was going to be lower than the previous week. But I decided at that point, maybe I was getting a little run down. Maybe something with my recovery wasn't quite right. Maybe I was just doing too much high exertion training, which is probably the case. So modified my training, decided I would focus again on rate of force development, and focus again on acquiring good repetitions without worrying too much about higher exertion work. So the focus here is to decrease time under tension, make sure all of these concentrics are under a second long, and just do them at set rest intervals until the bar speed starts to slow. So I started off with 5-minute rest intervals, and then for the last 5 sets I did 3-minute rest intervals, and even then I wasn't really slowing down towards the end of my sets, and I'll just rectify that over time by increasing the weight. But to start off with, this went pretty well. I just felt like after my deadlift training, I could either up the volume or up the intensity, and decided that I'd up the volume initially, and I'm going to alternate these sorts of modified CAT weeks with high intensity, low volume weeks, and that's the basic plan. And I think that'll work. I think the important thing is that I'm just feeling good when I go in and do these deadlift sessions. I gotta try to recover a little bit now, and I think once I recover, the bar speed will return. So I'm working on it. Anyway, sorry for not having a video in so long. It's just been kind of a crazy week. I've been very busy. Keep checking in. I will have more videos for you very soon.